Hey everyone, it's James. It is May 27th, about 5:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We got the 4-hour chart of Bitcoin, BTC, USD on the Bitfinex exchange. First of all, this is not investment advice. Second of all, I'm going to go over some price points of what to look for over the next few days, possibly even go into the next week. We have to see where price ultimately settles, but one thing I've talked about in my prior videos is this green line. This green line right here is a nice subtle increase. Now we have a flat line, which is the prior bottom at 64.25 on Bitfinex. This right here, you see the difference between here, how subtle it is? What this shows us is it's going to take longer for price to come to achieve higher highs, right? As long as we maintain the green line, a positive frequency showing a subtle in this case like a subtle increase in buyers. Yes, we're gonna have these wild pops, but we have this nice subtle increase of buyers coming to the market. So there are more buyers than there are sellers, but it's just like a marginal increase, right? And what this is, and what I definitely believe it is 100%, is that we had the bubble phase here. Now, I know you can go back through the charts and we can talk about all the percentages and Bitcoin did this and Bitcoin did that. What Bitcoin did not do in the past, okay? And I know I've followed Bitcoin for a very long time. Unfortunately, I did not trade it. I did not invest, for the long term, like a long time ago, but it is what it is. The point is that back then, if you've been paying attention to Bitcoin for a long time, is that the media shrouded Bitcoin as like this underground currency that was used for prostitutions, drugs, and tons of illegal activities. It was always the continuous hammering of Bitcoin in the cryptocurrency market. Then what happened is as Bitcoin started to take off, the mass euphoria, the signs of a bubble, and we reached the pinnacle of that point right here to where every media platform, mainstream media platform, was basically touting Bitcoin like it was the greatest invention since sliced bread, and people were doing stupid things like second mortgaging their home, selling their home, and taking out tons of credit card debt. By this point, I think over 30% of the market was on leveraged credit through credit cards, whatever the hell they were using. People were leveraged to the gills during this point because of the mass euphoria in this market. That is the sign of a bubble. Nowhere previously in Bitcoin was there ever that mass euphoria, right? This cult where everyone just we're gonna drink the poison and all die at the same exact time, and that's exactly what happened here. And it was orchestrated by the mainstream media and other media outlets as well too. But they orchestrated the cult-like following and basically the mass killing of the retail trader, which was this, okay? And then what happens after this occurs in a bubble market, like you see in the NASDAQ, for example, during the tech bubble, we have to return to this point of normalization, right? The Beanie Baby market did the same thing. I'm not trying to lump them all like they're all identical, but you see this mass euphoria. Everybody goes absolutely crazy and boom, the market implodes on itself, and it takes a while for the market to build itself back up and show everybody that, hey, I'm here to stay and everything's okay and I'm gonna get back on my feet and start to take off running again, right? So we got beat up badly here, and now Bitcoin's in rehab and it's going to try to build itself back up and then continue up, right? And what this green line is showing you is that it's going to take longer for this to occur. Now, I know there's tons of people out there on the YouTubes and the media, all through the media, all forms of it, social, mainstream, whatever, that are hyping Bitcoin up like it's going to go to the moon tomorrow and this is how the chart's going to look, right? That is what is going to sell and appease people because everyone wants to get rich quick, or at least a large portion of the people in this market want to get rich quick. Like, who doesn't want easy money, right? That's just a stupid question to ask. But the point is is that all you're seeing on this chart, on any chart, is the energy between buyers and sellers. So that's why you only see lines on my chart. I use lines to find frequency to what's occurring between these buyers and sellers. And sometimes I'll use other indicators as well too, but mainly I leave it to my lines to show me where price is more than likely going to settle. And that way I can make my buy or sell decisions and etc. So, again, it's going to take longer. The price points to watch out for, right, just to kind of summarize this a little bit, is the 6,800 to 6,900 level. I talked about what was happening on the way down in my prior videos, and I talked about this area that we called club consolidation as like a little fun term over here. And we broke through that area because there were no buyers. So previously there were buyers, obviously, in this area. And they did come somewhat to the rescue, but there were more sellers than there were buyers. So now we're kind of stair-stepping our way down. The next range of buyers is right here, right? So this is kind of like the last club, and if nobody's there, then we have to go all the way down to the V bottom, and more than likely there's not going to be enough people there unless we get a mega, change in price, like we see something like this, like just a non-stop couple long-range bars, and then boom, there's obviously a clear big buyer entering the market to move price or hold it within this range, right? So that's where I think more than likely price is going to settle, either somewhere in the range we're at now or somewhere around here. The question is, will we, as we rise, right, given the green line holds, then everything is still bullish on Bitcoin. And then back to the question is, will we break 9,990? If we do not break 9,990, then again, what we have here is just a series, like we have like one hump, right? The second one, the third one. And if we don't break 9,990 and we do something like this, then we can see exactly what price is doing. It's flattening out, okay, given the green line holds, okay? So if we're flattening out, then again, it's going to take much longer for price to ever reach this 11,700 zone, this 17,000, 20,000, and beyond. It does not mean it's not going to. It just means it is going to take longer too, and we can visually see this on the chart, right? So those are the two key areas to watch right now. 9,990, 6,800, 6,900. If we do not hold this area right here where we're currently at, okay? So those are the two major ranges. If we start to break the green line, then obviously something is changing. It does not necessarily mean that if we do come back down to retest the 6,400 zone, that we're entering into a bull market, because we still could hold the center point of this run, meaning that we have an axis like this, right? We have our buyers, we have our sellers, everywhere in between is indecision, but indecision leads to the building of energy. The building of energy leads to explosive price movement. So if we do start to flatten out, then understand at some point, as we start to move across this line in a time and space, at some point, this will lead to a massive move up or down. And I would say if we are still operating on the green line frequency, then more than likely that will be to the upside versus to the downside. If we're operating under the green line frequency and we move horizontally through it, then it goes to a 50-50 probability in my eyes. So I think I covered everything for everybody. It's still, up in the air if Bitcoin's going to hold this zone or not. We do have a holiday Monday in the United States. We have Memorial Day. The futures market will open Monday evening. Typically what happens over the weekend is price will, even if it does make a move, it's typically reversed either way. So if we go up, we come down before the futures open. If we go, down, we come up before the futures open. And everything kind of gets put like in this like stranglehold right before the futures open. So it doesn't mean the market's necessarily going to be held up until about Monday evening. But I do think that if we do start to find a bottom here and start to make that move, that more than likely there'd be another corrective move, smaller, but corrective still in order for price not to run away from the futures market opening. So I do not expect much to happen, and I kind of touched base on that on my prior video as well too, that there wasn't really much to report on, but I'm just kind of playing the advocate out there of reasoning, trying to tell everybody, you know, there's a lot of hype out there. There's a lot of people making some really stupid decisions, you know, and I really, you know, starting to see a repeat of this to where just people just think like they're just going to put like $10 in and become a trillionaire. Like it's literally the insanity is well out there, and it's across, you know, all social media. So I feel like I'm going to be the only voice of reason, and I'm going to get a lot of crap for it, and it's perfectly fine. You know, somebody has to do it, and that's my whole point of these videos, is just to provide like some education from a different standpoint, because a lot of people use different indicators and things like that, and I keep mine really basic, and some people can't like get their head around how basic the chart is, and they're like, you don't know what you're talking about. But it's like, go through the other videos and look at the zones I talked about in my prior videos. Look at the numbers I gave everybody. You know, a lot of them come to fruition. A lot of them carry weight. There's specific reasons. Some of them are so simple that it's like, well, duh, anybody could do it, but not everybody does it. Everyone uses all these crazy indicators. You got 45 different things on the chart. You go to TradingView and it looks like freaking spaghetti all over the chart, and you're like, what the hell is this person even telling me? You know, and then they're talking about all these wild things, and it's just like, I don't know, it's insanity out there. But anyways, I don't want to go off on a tangent on that, but I hope everybody has a great evening. Hopefully everything I said, you know, makes sense to everybody. It's kind of like rehashing some of the similar things that we've talked about in the prior videos, but you know, we're just kind of at that range where we're moving to the horizontal point and flattening out in price, and there's not going to be much significant action or much of a telling sign on what price is going to do until we start to settle on one of these lines, at least for me personally. So again, I thank everybody for their time. I thank everybody for their support. Thank you to all my subscribers. If you do like the videos, please like, subscribe, follow, share, depending on what social media platform you're on. If you've not joined the Slack channel, that's absolutely free. You can join that. You can go to geometriccharts.com. At the bottom, there's a link to the Slack channel, and you can join that. There's over 640 members, people from all over the world, people that share their own analysis, news, charts. Just a really nice, friendly environment to be in, where people are, you know, conversing about a similar topic, you know, cryptocurrency. So, but anyways, I thank everybody for their time. I'll talk to everybody tomorrow evening, and hopefully price kind of settles down and starts to build either a base out here, or we kind of migrate our way slowly down into that 68, 6,900 level.